I decided not to purchase my matcha online like I usually do and just picked it up in store. And when I got home, I saw that it had sugar added, and I felt an overwhelming sense of dread because I fear I made a really grave mistake. And I was right to feel that because it does not taste very good. It's not bad. Like, it's totally drinkable. It kind of has the vibe of like you go into a coffee shop and order a matcha and you maybe shouldn't have, but you do it anyway repeatedly. It's that vibe. But for an at-home matcha, the standards are higher, okay? I don't know why I'm exposing that I'm a matcha snob right from the jump, but here I am doing that. That's not what this video is about. So around this time, most people are posting videos that are like sharing my me-made wardrobe or all the things I knit or crocheted in the past year. And that is not going to be me because last year I just didn't spend nearly as much time as I would have liked to on my hobbies and just doing things I generally enjoy. This year I wanted to have clear intentions on what I was going to make and how I was going to use up the rest of my yarn. So I thought that I would go through all the yarn I have and all the patterns I plan on using for that yarn. Obviously nothing's set in stone. It's just so that I don't have that like moment where you freeze because you don't know what to work on next. At least that happens to me all the time. So if I have some clear options, I think that'll help me out a lot and make it so that it'll be easier for me to just always have something on the needles or the hook. I actually have my laptop right here because there's zero chance that I would actually have all this memorized. So I need this to reference. The first yarn that I have to share with you is going to be the Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair. That's what it looks like. It's in the shade. I don't know. Do we only say that for makeup products or does it work for yarn as well? It's in the color Unicorn Purple. And the pattern I'm going to be using is the Serpent Balaclava, and it's by Melina Paulina, I think is how you say that. This is one of the patterns that made me want to learn how to knit. And I got this yarn over a year ago and never made it still. I don't know why. I think I just felt like it was far too precious for me to be able to use, but I'm worth it. I'm allowed to make this. It's like, that's why I bought it. So we're making the things we want to make. I just envision myself wearing this piece and just looking like a really cool, like New York City or Scandi girly. And I'm really interested to see like styling it with curly hair as well. I think that'll be fun. But yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to make more of these, but I'll have to see how wearable it is and how much I actually gravitate towards it, or if I just think it looks pretty. The other thing that I already started, I actually started last year and got very frustrated with it. So it's kind of just been sitting around, but I'm definitely going to pick it up again, like probably in the spring. I don't remember what this yarn is, but it will be listed somewhere. It's just like a Pima cotton, but it feels kind of rusticy. It has an interesting feel to it. And when I was crocheting with it, I swear it was giving me splinters or something. So I didn't love working with it, but I was using, I don't know, it's a lot to explain, but I did a very roundabout way of crocheting this, and I will also probably make a video on this at some point. So I'll explain all that in that. But I just made it a lot harder for myself. So that could be why I don't absolutely love this yarn at the moment. I don't even think I mentioned what this is going to be, but I am making a crochet bucket hat because a few summers ago I kept seeing them pop up by different designers and I really, really wanted one, but I don't want to pay that money for it. So I figured I'd make one for myself. Also, what I wanted exactly like didn't exist. So I'm kind of taking inspiration from like Prada and Ganni and Miu Miu, and Valentino had one. And making my own thing / just off the top of my head. So it's an amalgamation of different things. And I think it's going to be really good. I almost want to make a pattern for it because I think it'd be fun to like share that. But the way I made this, I would have to remake it and figure it out because this is just not doable. But it's going to be so cute. But yeah, that's that. I guess the next thing I can show you, let me actually show you the yarn I'm going to use for the other crochet bucket hat that I want to make. So this is the other yarn I have for the other bucket hat I want to make. They're kind of spun together like this. Can you see that? So they're twisted. So I think it'll make the texture of the hat look kind of cool too. I have these in several colors, but I truly just can't be bothered to grab all of them. But this is the same brand as the other yarn. And I think it's Pima Soft. I think that one was Pima 100 and this one's Pima Soft or Cotton Soft, something like that. This feels like it's going to be way easier to work with. And this bucket hat, I think I want to be like more of a slouchy bucket hat, kind of taking inspo from the Ghani hat with a little, can I talk? That's that. I don't think I mentioned to you, the first hat that I showed you is going to be more structured. So those are the bucket hats that will be reapproached in the springtime because I cannot be bothered at the moment. Most of the other yarn that I have are going to be in these bins I got from Target, which I kind of love. I like that I can see in there and it's all protected in its own little container. I have these cedar rings that look like little flowers. They're so cute to help with moths, but I love the smell. I could like sit here and smell this all day. I want to do the Hipster Hat by Petite Knit. I really just wanted a good ribbed hat, and Petite Knit is so like forward facing, is that the word? So it's just easy to find a pattern from her because it's just like being thrown at me constantly. But if people have recommendations throughout this video for different patterns, I love to find like just other people that aren't like Petite Knits and my favorite things knitwear. But anyway, this hat does look really cute. And I really wanted a rib knit hat. And I'm going to be using yarn from Hedgehog Fibers. It's so beautiful. It's a hand-dyed yarn and it's actually a sock yarn. But I want to use it to make a beanie. And this is in the color Barefoot. It's a merino wool nylon blend, because it's a sock yarn. But I think that'll be really good and help with the durability of the hat as well. So I think sock yarn for hat, it makes sense to me. And then I'm going to be pairing that with the Pearl Soho Tussock. It's another silk mohair, and it's in Partly Cloudy Blue. And what I like about this and the Knitting for Olive mohair is that the silk core matches the color of the mohair. And apparently a lot of times you don't get that. You get the like white silk cord, which I think would bother me because it would probably create like a marled effect, which I don't necessarily want unless I purposely want that. But yeah, so I'm going to pair these together and I'm hoping it'll obviously add that little halo that mohair gives. And gosh, it's going everywhere. And also kind of make the colors of this really cohesive and make more sense, I guess. I think it'll just be fun to see how it turns out because I have no idea what this finished fabric is going to look like. So hopefully this works out well and it will be like a major staple in my wardrobe. But I think it's going to be really, really nice. And I think it'll be a piece that's really unique and like personal to me, like that you can't get in a store. Okay, this I'm actually really excited to make. I have a feeling I'm going to be saying that phrase constantly and it might get annoying, but I don't know. I need more adjectives to use in my vocabulary. I'm going to be using the Sundays Garn Double Sunday. It's in the color, what is the color? 8082. And I think I have 9 of these, so a decent amount, I'm hoping. And I want to make a cardigan. This is supposedly very, very warm. I've never worked with it before. So I wanted to do a cardigan that I could open just in case the weather isn't like that cold. And also I wanted something that had like eyelets in it. So I'm hoping that'll compensate for the fact that this knits up very, very warm. I couldn't find something that was exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to use the Vilma top by Gregoria Fibers. And it's like a vest, but it has a button front. So I figured I could do that and maybe just alter how wide the armholes are and then add sleeves. I'm still unsure if it's going to be like a shorter sleeve situation or a full length. I have to see how much yarn I end up using up. But in my mind, it's going to be like a full length sleeve. And maybe I'll add some eyelets to the sleeve. It's definitely going to be a like play it as you go situation. Here's a close up of the yarn. It is a 100% merino wool, and it's in this like foresty green. Okay, and then the last thing in the spin is one of my favorite yarn brands ever. It is from the brand Woolfolk. And if you ever come across this yarn, you need to feel it because it is so soft. I think they have this whole process of like removing longer fibers from the wool or something like that. I don't know what witchcraft they're doing over there. The way that it is like braided together is really cool too. I just don't know if this is going to pick up, but you can kind of see like that texture that the yarn has. So I'm really interested to see how this looks in a fabric. The pattern I have in mind for this, I don't know if it's going to work out, but I'm going to try. That's the beauty of yarn. You can just unravel if everything goes wrong. But I want to do the Nina Top 2.0 from Le Pull. And I just think it'll look really cool with a like chunkier wool. It's definitely a summer top made to be knit in like a cotton or linen or some sort of other summery material, but I'm switching things up. I don't know if this will be wearable at all, but I'm gonna try. Do I only have this one hank? Yes, I do. So it might have to be a bit of a cropped top. Or I can see if I can just buy more of it. There's zero chance I'm going to find it in the same dye lot because I got this quite a while ago. But hopefully it'll like just match enough. I don't know. Or I can like blend it into a color changing. We'll figure it out. That is the ultimate plan for this. But if all goes wrong, I think I want to do a bonnet. And I think it's called the Harriet Bonnet. I think that'd be really cute. And I think this be enough for it. Otherwise, it is shown in like a striped pattern. So I could also stripe it. The Nina top is also shown in a striped pattern. But I don't really want to do that one in a striped pattern. So yeah. But I'm hoping this works out for the Nina top. I think it'll look like really chic. I don't know. The next bin of yarn that I have has more of my like lightweight summery spring yarns. I think I'm going to share these two back to back because they're going to be made into like a set. So first we'll start with this one. This is the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, which I'm really interested to work with. I've never worked with it before. I heard it could be kind of a nightmare, so we'll have to see how I feel about it. I did hear that the drape and finished fabric that comes from this is really beautiful. So even if it's a bit tricky to knit with and not the most like comfy to knit with, if the finished result is really nice, I think it's all worth it. And it's in the color Blood Orange. I feel like it's showing up really bright on camera. And don't get me wrong, it is really bright, but it's showing up like really, really bright. I'm going to be making the Vera top from Whitray Design. I always feel like I'm saying that name wrong because I follow them on Instagram, so I never actually hear a lot of these things said out loud in general. And I kind of want to make it in conjunction. Is that the right word? In conjunction? I don't know. I want to be making it with this skirt where I'm going to be using the Friends Cotton 8/6. It's just a 100% cotton. And it's by Hobie. I've heard a lot of good things about their yarn, and it's at a really decent price point. So for this project, I think I'm going to need quite a bit of yarn. So I thought, let me try out Hobie. So that's what I did, and it was on sale. It's the color 5 Beige, and I got several of these. I do not remember how many, but there's a bunch. And I'm going to be making a skirt that I got inspired to make from watching a video from Amazingish Grace, where she kind of hacked a skirt that was like a beach cover-up that somebody made, and they got their idea from somebody else who created a pattern for like a sweater, But anyways, it's this crocheted skirt that I want to make, and it has this floral motif all over, and it is so pretty. Again, I'm lacking other adjectives, but it looks so good, and I saw it and immediately thought, I need that skirt in my life. Grace said that hers is absolutely not wearable because she didn't create any sort of slit in the skirt, so she can't really walk in it. So I'm definitely gonna make changes and have a slit, like probably down the back. I don't think I want like a noticeable slit. Like, I don't really want it to be part of the design. I mostly just want it for function, I think. But I might change my mind on that. And then the other thing I'm not sure about is if I want to add like solid crochet in like, you know, the butt front area and all that. So that I can not be showing everything to the world. Because girl, I wish I had that confidence, but at this moment I do not. But I do think it looks really cool sheer. Like, I think that's one of my favorite parts of the skirt. So I don't know. My other thought is I could wear like a deep brown biker short underneath and just make it part of the look. Because I do like that it's see-through throughout, but I don't know. I might get creative with some solid crocheting, like, but I don't want like a strip of just, you know, I might do it more at an angle. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. I think this skirt will probably be a bit of a journey of me trying it on and changing my mind and redoing things. But I think it's kind of fun when you have projects like that. So anyway, I want to make that skirt and I want to pair it with the Vera top. And I think like these two colors together will be really cute. Like just having this bold pop of color with something muted, a very like, I'm on a tropical vacation, but also, yeah, I don't know what else, but very those vibes. So these will be made probably in conjunction with each other, and I'm really excited to just own this outfit, to be honest. But let me know what you think. Yes to having a sheer skirt or no to the sheer skirt. I know I've already said this before, but this is a yarn I'm so excited to just have in my possession. I don't even think it's like rare or anything. It's just like I saw it in a shop and it called to me. It's from the iconic brand Nora, which is a Japanese brand that has like a really cool like backstory. So I would totally advise you check out their website and just like look around. But it's the Sonata Shima. It is, let's see, cotton viscose silk polyamide. And it just creates this fabric that is just really nice. It has this almost like raw feel to it. And the colors, gorgeous. It's actually in the shade Obihiro, which is a city in Hokkaido in Japan. And if you don't know what Hokkaido looks like, look it up. And it's so pretty. Dream to visit that place. But these colors so give the vibe. I didn't know that when I bought it. And then I looked at the name of the color and I was like, oh my God, it is Hokkaido. Very much so. But for this, I want to do another lapel pattern, and I want to make the Cabourg. Cabourg. I'm probably butchering that completely, but the Cabourg top. It's a backless top, and this is all the yarn I have for this yarn. So I wanted something that this would be enough yarn for. And so I'm thinking this will be it because it's basically half of a top because there's no back. So definitely gonna have to do some back strengthening exercises so I feel like a little bit more confident. Like not even so my back looks any different, but just so I feel different. You know what I mean? Or other people like that. Sometimes I'm like that. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna be making that top, and I think it'll look really cool and really show off the like striping patterns that this yarn is going to have, because it's just like a solid front piece. But I do think I want to change the silhouette of the front because it's originally just kind of like a rectangle, like kind of comes up, but then it's just like straight down, straight across. And I think I want to either make it taper into a V or just have a little bit of like rounded corners. I think that'll add a bit more interest, and I think it'll make it a more wearable piece for me, and flatter my body type a bit more. So that is the plan for this. I feel like I will gravitate towards this a lot, like this top. So I'm excited to own it once I make it. That's like everything here. I'm just so excited to have all these things because right now they're just like this, you know? So it's kind of fun to think forward and see having all these things in my possession. But yeah, that is the Noro yarn, and I love it so much. Okay, and then I also have 3 of these Sundays Garn line. It is a mixture of, let's see, cotton, viscose, and linen. It's almost this very like cool toned taupey, like a light gray taupe. I don't know if this is a Sundays Garn thing, but I couldn't find like a color name. I just found the number, and it's 2331 if you're interested. And this, I want to make the Risky Business Top by Shauna K. Salmon. I saw a lot of people switched around the pattern. And I think I want to do it where there's only 2 ties instead of the 3 that's originally in the pattern. So you kind of have like this opening in the center. And I think I want to omit the straps and make it a tube top. And I feel like it'll work out really well because it already has like the tie up here. So I could just make it go all the way around and it'll hold up the top. So that's the vision for that. And I only have 3 of these, so I'm hoping by omitting the straps that'll help preserve some of the yarn, so I will have enough to finish. All right, the last bin. Nothing in here has a specific pattern paired with it. So I have 3 of these from Pearl Soho. I think I actually ordered these at the same time that I got the mohair. It was a bit of an impulse purchase. This is the line weight merino wool, and it's in the color Kiln Red. And it is really, really thin. Like, let me see if I can get it apart. See how thin that is? So I don't know if I'm going to hold it double or just have like a really thin fabric. That could be cool. But yeah, I think it's like a lace weight yarn. And 100% merino wool. And the plan for this is to self-draft a top. And I have an idea. I want it to be kind of strappy, kind of have open sides. Though it is the bane of my existence, I think I want a lot of I-cord edging. Though I hate the way I like the way it looks, don't love the experience of doing it. It's so tedious, but gosh, it looks so good. So that's the plan for this. And I have like some sketches and stuff, but I'm sure I'll do a whole video on this, so you'll see it then. But yeah, the idea is to make a top, and I feel like it's going to be so good. Maybe a pattern. Maybe this will be my year of trying to make patterns. Do I have any idea of how to do that right now? No, not at all. But I have time. There will be many months before I start this. I don't even know how to approach the rest of this. Here, let me grab this from the bottom. Oh, crap. So this I got from Hobie while I was picking up the kind of beige yarn for the skirt, and it's same thing, rainbow cotton, but it's the 8/4, so it's much thinner. I don't feel like taking it out of the package, but you can kind of see it came in this set. I didn't like pick out the colors. It was like all paired together. I don't know what compelled me to buy this because these are so not colors I would ever like use, but that's kind of fun. It'll push me out of my comfort zone a bit, and it's always fun to work with color. So I don't know the exact plan, but I'm thinking of getting a black yarn and making a bunch of like fun different granny squares and making some sort of top or something with it. Yeah, that's the thought that I have going into this. I want to do like a really cool granny square top. I don't know how it's going to look yet, but I want to do something different. I don't want to do the classic thing. Sorry, there is like yarn on my nose. I don't want to do the classic like tank top that I always see people doing or cardigan that I always see people doing. I want to do something different and something like more unique. So that'll be like moving around in my brain throughout the months while I think of how I want to do it. But I think I definitely want to pair it with a black yarn. So there will be like really high contrast between this and that, because these are pretty like pastel-y bright colors. And I also in here have some pitons. I still don't know how to say that. It's Pitons Grace, and it's in the color Night, and it's how do you say it? Mercerized cotton. It's just the way the cotton is produced. It's kind of shiny, but yeah, I just picked this up in a craft store because I had a coupon, to be honest. But my intention is to use it for amigurumi, which is like the Japanese art of creating like little dolls or something like that. So I want to do cute little animals, and I really want like a orca like keychain I could put on my bag. So I got this, and then I'm sure at some point I will have a white one and I can make an orca, but also black is just good overall for any amigurumis, because I'm sure it'll be in a lot of different things. So that's why I got that. And then the rest of this, I have like the cotton I showed you I want to use for the beanie, and then just a bunch of scraps. I don't know if I really feel like going through all this, but this is a leftover from the first ever knit thing I made where I learned how to knit, and it was for a scarf. So I don't know. I might just wait until I have a bunch of different colors and scraps and I can do some sort of fun scrap project. But for now, just a bunch of random things. I have some linen from Pearl Soho. I have some Lang yarn. I don't even know what this is. I think it's like an alpaca mix or something. I don't know. This is the other yarn from Woolfolk that I have. Very, very soft. Ooh, this is leftover. I could not tell you what the name is, but I know I have the label somewhere, so I'll write it somewhere here. But this is a cotton yarn, and it has a really cool like striping going on that I use to make dish towels, which I recently finished. So let me actually show you those, because I haven't shown anyone it anywhere, so you get to see it. I still have some tails I need to cut. Oh, maybe not on this one, but I think on like the, yeah, on the dish towel I do. But anyway, these are the little dishcloths. They're so cute. I made them these dimensions fully on accident, but I kind of love it. Makes them a little bit different. It's not like your typical square dish rag or dishcloth. I've actually used these and they work really well. If you want like an actual usable dish towel or dishcloth, just simple garter stitch is the way to go, because it works really well at like gripping stuff and taking it off. But yeah, those are those. And then I also have a dish towel, but to be honest, it's pretty small, but it's cute. You can put this over the like stove handle, oven handle, and it'll do something. But yeah, this is my little set. I'm so proud of it. I honestly used this yarn to make other dish towels that I hated and I felt weren't practical for actual use. And so I decided to match it with just like a neutral cream colored cotton and make these. And it came out really cool, and I love the way that yarn like looks knitted up. And I did in fact do I-cord edging all around the sides, and I did in fact hate it, but I love the way it looks. So I also have some acrylic yarn, which, listen, I don't want to feel like elitist or anything, and use whatever yarn you want to use. But for me personally, I just cannot use synthetic fibers a lot of the time. Like, I think it's a sensory thing. Like the action of knitting with this, it was really bad for me. Like it's so squeaky and plasticky feeling, and I really didn't like it. But I made a dog sweater for my dog. And probably will never again use acrylic, unless there's like a really fancy, nice acrylic that doesn't do all those things that bother me. But I'm still holding on to it because I can totally use it for like amigurumi stuffing or something else that pops up. Like cut it up and use it versus just wasting it. And I do have the dog sweater and she does wear it from time to time. So didn't go to waste, but probably never again. And some black, I think this is Drops Cotton Merino. And I used it for a beanie for my dad that he's like probably currently wearing right now because it's so cold where he's at. What else? I don't know. Just a bunch of random crap in here. These were left over from a sweater vest I made, which came out so good. I'm so proud of it, but I did screw up the collar on it, so I'll probably be adjusting that at some point. Yeah, and that's basically it. So it's not an overwhelming amount of yarn by any means, but I think it's a good amount to get me through the year and still have a little space for maybe picking up some other things, you know, little yarn shopping never hurt anybody except for maybe me and my wallet. But yeah, that's the plan. And I'm hoping it will allow me to have like a good year and always have something to work on because I honestly get so much like therapy out of working on these things. And I don't know why I didn't allow myself to do that last year. So we're doing it this year. I also really want to get into sewing. So one day a sewing machine will be acquired and that will also be thrown into the mix. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I know this took quite a while, so I appreciate the investment if anybody is still around. But I will hopefully see you in the next one. And yeah, bye.